They get the win in the first game, and now a massive win against Chelsea. And you have to say, there are definitely, there's a long way to go and a lot of teams that have a great shot to win this. Why not Flamengo? They're coming in with a lot of momentum in a great league. This is a team that will fight tooth and nail to try to win a trophy. This is all about Flamengo. That second half, it was an incredible performance from them and really just came out and took it to this Chelsea side.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. Had more of the ball, as you can see from the stats there, 52% plays, 48%, more shots, more of those on target as well. It was a brilliant second half performance, as you said. And really, Stefano, you feel like, and this goes for a lot of these South American sides, another statement win, taking it to one of these top European teams.
Yeah, it is. And it's where you see also where you can look at this and say Chelsea coming off a long season, Flamengo not as long of a season, kind of in the middle of their season still. They are leading the Brazilian league, the best league in South America, without a doubt. Some may argue the best league in this entire hemisphere on this side of the world. This team has shown that they are going to go out and how much this means to them. Look at the fans. I mean, you see the scenes in Philadelphia, the Flamengo fans making it seem like they're playing a home game. And they really did push this team in that second half, and you see the desire and the want from these South American sides, and specifically Flamengo today. It was just that little bit more than the Chelsea side, and in that second half, they came out to try to get this game, and a ton of credit needs to go to Filipe Luís. I know we're going to talk about him here in a second, but Filipe Luís, a player, a former legend at Atletico Madrid. He played for Chelsea as well, and he comes in after finishing his playing career in 2023, and is now in charge of this team and just got one of the biggest wins that they'll have in quite some time.
Yeah, he's an exciting young manager, isn't he? I mean, he's only just retired
Yes.
a couple of years ago, and he made those adjustments in the second half that made a huge difference to this game. And I think we are seeing a trend in world football towards younger managers having success. We've certainly seen that in the Premier League, the likes of Eddie Howe, you know, players who are not that far removed from their playing days who then go into being managers. And I think it's because they obviously have that connection with the dressing room. These players, I mean, some of them are old enough to have played with him, and he was up against his old side in Chelsea, spent a little time in West London playing for them. And I think that is something that has become significant in world football, that we're seeing managers younger and younger and younger.
I think it's underrated how much that chemistry matters between a player and manager, right? Where he can relate to these players a lot more than a manager, you know, that is in his 60s or 70s. It's just fact. He has been in the locker room he finished his career with Flamengo in that locker room with a lot of these guys, and now is the manager of this club. So there is a lot more that goes into that, where a player can really understand what these players are going through, understand what makes them tick, what doesn't. And I think the man in management is massive. And again, he makes the move, brings Bruno Henrique in, he gets the game-tying goal right away. So he is pulling the right strings at the right time. They get the win in the first game, and now a massive win against Chelsea. And you have to say, there are definitely, there's a long way to go, and a lot of teams that have a great shot to win this. Why not Flamengo? They're coming in with a lot of momentum in a great league. This is a team that will fight tooth and nail to try to win a trophy.
Do you think these South American sides, Flamengo, and you can put them in the group with a few of the others, are making a case to be favourites here? Because we're not necessarily seeing the absolute top from the best European teams. You know, Palmeiras. They've got a win and a draw so far. Botafogo, they have won both of their games. Flamengo winning both of theirs. And then it's Fluminense, who started with a draw against Borussia Dortmund. They've got a game on Saturday as well. But you have to say these South American teams are undefeated so far, making a pretty good case at the Club World Cup.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think you got to separate the Brazilian teams and the Argentinian teams, and that pains me to say as an Argentinian myself, but these Brazilian teams are on a different level. And they, I think, I mean, if you're a betting man, there's a lot of value on these teams because they're playing to show themselves out. Some of these players are also playing on this world stage trying to get a deal to go to Europe, right? A lot of these players, they want to win and they care about this club and the passion, but this is also a coming out party for a lot of these players that are really trying to show out and show themselves to the world. And what better way than to go out and have fantastic performances against some of the best teams from Europe? This is a great opportunity for these players and a great opportunity, like I said, for these teams to really kind of catch the European sides, the PSGs of the world, the Manchester Cities of the world, the Real Madrids of the world, maybe just a little bit flat after a long season in their domestic leagues and in the European League. So I do think that there's a great opportunity for one of these Brazilian sides to kind of surprise everyone and make it to the final.
And is that what you would put Chelsea's performance down to? Do you think Enzo Maresca's particularly worried? I mean, Liam Delap, we saw him play again. He hasn't scored. You had Nicolas Jackson losing his head and getting sent off. They're not exactly making a great case for the Premier League teams.
They're not. I do think Chelsea may be a bit different. There's still a lot to figure out with this Chelsea side. We saw them at the end of the season, obviously winning the Conference League, but they did drop off in the Premier League towards end of the season. So I still think there is some things to figure out from this Chelsea side. They still have the talent to beat a Flamengo side without a doubt. But I do think that this was maybe one of those where things just kind of got out of control in the second half for this team. And they had a strong team out there, but maybe just not able to put it all together. And I think they just kind of got caught by surprise with the intensity, with the speed, and with just the sheer will of a Flamengo team that was going for it without a doubt. They didn't have any concern about losing this game. They were bombing forward and trying to go get the win, and that's what they were able to do.
You do feel like it's an important summer for Nicolas Jackson with Liam Delap and the other players that Chelsea have got. They do have a lot of players in those attacking positions, and if he isn't careful, I mean, certainly getting sent off like that isn't going to help. He's a player that, because he did score some important goals. He didn't have a terrible season, did he? He scored some important goals last season, but he's not the most prolific of strikers in terms of volume of goals scored. He could find himself out of this team. Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough for him. Like I said, it's not the first time that he's kind of gotten this ill-timed red card in a match where his team is still in it and need him on the pitch, and then get a red card in a bad spot. This is a player that I think I think we've seen his ceiling, and I know he's still young, and I know there's still a lot to develop with him, but I don't think that he is the out-and-out number 9 for Chelsea if Chelsea are ambitious enough to go and win trophies. I don't think that Nico Jackson can be your sole lead striker for this side if Chelsea want to win trophies. I think that there has to be some other guys mixing in, some other guys giving him competition, whether that's Liam Delap, whether that's another signing, I don't know. But you can't keep putting him out there and not getting good performances and then getting red cards like this in key moments. It's just not feasible long term. I hope he does well. I hope he continues to improve. But if you're Chelsea, I think you got to look at this and say, okay, I don't think that we have enough on this forward line.
A good comeback victory then for Flamengo over Chelsea. We've got a big weekend to come at the Club World Cup. It's Sundowns against Dortmund, Inter taking on Urawa Red Diamonds, Fluminense against Ulsan HD, and then River Plate against Monterrey. And you can scan that QR code there on the left of your screen to buy tickets for any of those games. And as Stefano mentioned, the South American fans have certainly shown out. This is South Beach in Miami, although you can't see much of the sand because they have absolutely taken it over. What an atmosphere all across America for this competition.
Party for Boca Juniors fans on the beach, Adam.